Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Down. I'm coming to you with another financial, silver, and commodities report. Yesterday evening, I had J. Smith 4 call me up, picks up the phone and say, "Hey, Pastor Down." I said, "Hey, what you got, brother?" He says, "Have you checked out my latest video?" I said, "No, I haven't had a chance. Just got back in from service and stuff, sitting down right now, scanning over some of the news that you put out." And so I was actually sitting there watching some of his videos. And then he says, "Well, go check it out." I said, "Okay, I'll go check it out right now." So I went and checked out the video. And as I was sitting there listening to the video, I said, "Wow, isn't that something?" You see, people like you and I, when we see the markets have such volatility, and of course, the only thing I really am interested in is the silver. And so when I see the volatility in the silver market, and then I go over to the stock market to see what the manipulation that's happening and what's going on over there. And then I go to the news sources and see that they blackball everybody who tries to come out and tell the truth. They do their best to shoot every messenger. So then, after listening to his video, I pretty much understood, just like I've been saying all along. You know, there's a system of cronyism. And in this system of cronyism, you and I are not included. These people who are in commercial banking, commercial stocks, commercial traders, the big wigs, the people who have the deep pockets. I tell you, you don't have to be too much of an expert of anything when you have all the information sitting right there in front of you. You know, it's like our congressmen. Every single one of them, the reason why that they may go in and just common citizens inside a political office, whether they be a senator or somebody from a House of Representatives, no matter what they're doing, but they all come out millionaires, is because they get insider trader secrets. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about here this morning. Because what happened last week, it wasn't what you call one of them stock market drive-bys or a bunch of massive selling off like we would normally think, because we don't get the information like they do. But you know what's amazing is that you got people up there in this particular areas, okay, and that they get what they call insider trader secrets. It's not available to you and I. We get the aftermath or the crumbs that falls from the masa table. That's what we end up getting. So all these people that have deep pockets and are in cahoots with each other, they get all the information. They make massive moves before all these changes happen. So what happened is that apparently they got the information that the margin requirements for silver contracts was going to increase. And they're going to increase by what they call Monday. And so if you're going to stay in this paper game right here and stuff, guess what? You're going to need to play the increase in order to stay in. So what did the people do that have deep pockets, who have these insider trader secrets do? Well, they opted out. They took all these massive short positions that they normally bet against silver, bet against commodities, bet against gold and stuff. Since they was increasing the margin requirements, what they did? Well, they turned around. They had a massive sell-off. A massive sell-off. Now, while they're yet still in paper, which I'm amazed with all this so-called information that they have, how intelligent can someone still be knowing that they're still in paper? It just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever at all. That's the reason why I continue to keep telling you to get physical. But they had a massive sell-off. Matter of fact, some 40% short contracts, commercial contracts, were sold off. You and I didn't get that information. We're sitting up here watching this market, this silver going down, and the stock market going down, and it just doesn't logically make any sense whatsoever at all. Not to us, the common people, the common man. So you know, we get to experience all the sour grapes, while these boogers call themselves experts, get to see exactly what's going on. And so when you get somebody that's brutally honest, like that day trader, who was just brutally honest over at CNN in Europe and told the people he just flat out don't care what the markets do. All he is doing is trying to make money in a down environment, down economy. So for us, and what we know, those of us who are in the alternative news, those of us in the alternative system, those of us who are not playing the paper game, for us, we only have one recourse, and that's physical. And we've been preaching and teaching and talking about this physical for who knows how long. So anyway, what they end up doing is they end up taking their silver contracts, SLV, and then they end up buying long positions. They end up taking long positions, almost guaranteeing that silver is going to stabilize right here where it's at right now at the $30 range. But to explain to us, the layman people, you know what they're doing? They're betting against what everybody on the news media and what everybody says in these controlled financial environments. See, they keep trying to desensitize us and try to keep telling us. And that's why I keep telling you, this extraordinary amount of manipulation that has been done to our mind is just literally off the chain. When you can set up and believe that you can take a piece of paper that comes from a tree and make you think that it's money. But then the metals that has been money for over 5,000 years, going on 6,000 years, that come out of the earth that people have been trading from the time of in the tombs over in Egypt all the way up to this point now. And it's still money. And it's still the best hedge against inflation that there ever is and ever will be. And they don't want you to know that because they want you to continue to keep on playing their paper game. It's almost like a serious legalized Ponzi scheme, i.e. sanctioned by your federal government. But they're taking massive long positions now, betting that silver will go up, betting that gold will go up. Now, I don't have to have all this great so-called understanding that these people have. And I'm telling you, they don't have too much understanding when you can go to college, get an MBA degree, and then turn around and put this country in the condition that it's in, and have all the information sit there in front of you and still cannot make any wise decisions whatsoever at all. So I don't have too much respect for them whatsoever at all. It makes no difference to me. It's almost a guarantee here in this country, betting against America is going to end up making a lot of money. So you have to be wise in your business decisions and your business practices, especially when dealing with greenbacks. You need to have the same attitude that I have. Anytime you can take worthless paper that is backed up by nothing but the so-called benevolent word of the United States of America, and I ask you a question, how benevolent is that? Which they have never been able to keep any word whatsoever at all. These jacklegs is such a bloodletting, they cut each other's throat. It's just sad that the brutal wickedness that goes on amongst these people behind the scenes. And then they put the prostitutes up there in front of you to mesmerize you, showing their store-bought chest. And there's nothing fake about us, but there's nothing real about them. And that's just the truth. So they bought massive long positions. Matter of fact, they sold off 40% of the shorts. And so that's guaranteeing that silver's getting ready to go up. And I remember making a video telling you that silver's getting ready to go to the moon now. Now, on the religious front, I got a lot of people, what kind of preacher are you? What you need to do is worry about what kind of preacher all these so-called TV preachers are. All these people who got these big mega churches and stuff, who are getting fat and living high off the hog on you, the people out there that are deceiving you and not preparing you for these upcoming economic collapse and the times that we're facing right now. And so, what kind of preacher you? You talk about silver, you talk about gold. I talk about silver, I talk about gold because you cannot go anywhere in this Bible right here and not see where they didn't talk about silver or didn't talk about gold, because it was y'all's money. It's always been y'all's money since the beginning of time. It ain't about to stop just because you don't believe. Excuse me, sorry for a second. I had a sneeze coming on. But anyway, so what if you don't believe? Does your unbelief make my belief void? No, it establishes my faith, because all the moves and everything that I've been saying, everything that news sources like Jason Ford been saying, alternative news media, what we've been saying has been spot on. And of course, we're going to have our dissenters, detractors, our judges. We're going to have our critics and those who sit back and don't know nothing. Of course, some of these people are just there just to do just like the news media, just to do nothing but to cause chaos and confusion. But hey, it's a guarantee. It's a sure thing betting against this country. I guarantee it. Against America and against Europe, it's a sure thing. The time of the empire, the run of the empire, it is over. It's done for. You cannot sit up and expect printing money out of thin air and expect you're going to prosper some way, somehow under a lie. So, what is my advice? My advice is the same way it's always been. Keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking, and keep stacking. It's getting to the point now where it's getting ready to be out of reach. And when silver, you think that silver is expensive right now at $30, $35 an ounce, $40 an ounce. I keep telling you, that's cheap. Chances are before the end of the year it's going to be $60. Chances are before the end of 2012 it may be $100 or $200 an ounce. And chances are by 2013 we're probably looking at $300 to $500 an ounce. Then it's really going to be too expensive for you to buy, because as them prices of the metals continue to go up, the prices on the shelves of the food in the store, and to get all these commodities to you, it's going to continue to rise. And because you haven't made any wise, sound business decisions, and you won't change the way that you do things and conduct business, you're going to end up suffering, just like the majority of the people. So, you know, if we had the information that the system has, then we could make these decisions too. But since we don't, we cannot play their games. That's the reason why people like Max Kaiser, myself, SGT Bull, Vic Swear, Bob Chapman, and so many other people, Jason Ford. It's the reason why we always tell, hey, you need to get physical, because when you have physical, you're not easily manipulated. When you have physical, you could care less what they say and what they do and stuff. They can't take it and burn it up. They can't offer you some type of alternative payment when you have the real thing, because the real thing is what's going to be in really, truly a lot of need. Not the fake thing, the real thing. I mean, you think about it, one of those intercontinental ballistic missiles, one of those warheads that we use constantly over on the people who we call terrorists, which we're just over there terrorizing their countries. It takes 500 ounces, a monster box of silver, just in order to be a conductor to detonate one of those missiles. You say, and hey, that is unrecoverable. You ain't recovering that, and that's all there is to it. So, if you follow Ali, if you decide to, that's up to you, totally up to you. My advice to you is to get more silver, and just like Max Kaiser said, crash JP Morgan, because right now, with the way that our government are implementing policies, they're hard-headed as hell. They're not listening to nothing, and they ain't going to, because they care more about their positions of power, being in a political position, rather than letting this country reset itself like it should. They won't stay out of the private sector, so the private sector, because of much government regulation, has turned around and moved and outsourced all their jobs overseas, which was planned by the powers that be so it could bankrupt this country. And I told my little small children here in the congregations, as well as the adults, I said, we're looking at a generation now that will never know what it means to be employed, to never know what it means to have a job. And so, since I am a wise man, I start to make moves, a homestead, that these people can end up taking care of themselves, even long after I'm gone, and give them wisdom how to keep what they have, and don't let anybody take it from them. Because if you can't live free, what's the use of living free if you're not free? I mean, after all, is it not your right to be a free man and free woman? But you can't be free every time you turn around, you go opt into the system because of materialism, because you want some satisfaction like a piece of candy right now. Some of you are living in a dreamland. You're living in a dream ring. You're living above your means because of credit. And that credit has got you in debt. And right now, you look like you're a bigwig. You look like you everything, but you're getting ready to lose everything you got because you don't have it. If you're paying notes on it, you don't have it. The 10 cities testify, and all the people left and right over and over again testify. And all the people that are stacking up in homes and stuff just in order to survive in this environment, and they all testify of the decline of this country. It's time for you to wake up. It's time you open your eyes. This book right here teaches from beginning to end that when you're under a curse, the borrower is a servant to the lender. And that's just all there's to it. And we've been raised in this society. We've been assimilated into this Roman culture. And we, especially us as Israelites, we can't function after their laws, their statutes and commandments and stuff, because it just doesn't work for us. We have to follow the wisdom of that book. And then those of you out there who are just listening to me and stuff, it would do you well to take heed to what I'm saying. So go over and listen to Jason Ford, see what he has to say, because he's doing an excellent job keeping us abreast of what's really truly going on. Like I said, I don't have too much respect for these people who say that they are the experts. And yet still they're doing their best, the powers that be, to use the news media to manipulate your mind. Just the reason why I don't watch alternative news media, zero, zilch, nada at all. Unless it's posted on somewhere on the internet that somebody else has done, trying to bring forth a point. I don't sit down in front of a TV. I don't even have a TV signal here in my house and haven't had one in over 20 years. I don't even sit there and look at that stuff to manipulate my conscience and mind so I can't think rationally and stuff and try to depend upon a system that has trained us to be subordinate and search to it. Nuh-uh. I come outside the box, and that's what I'm telling you to do. That's the information and my advice that I give to you. And that's the truth. And that's the truth straightway.